Journey Through South Africa by Kirsty Croft. Emily was very excited for her first day at her new school. She's a very adventurous and happy young girl with a spontaneous imagination. Emily's mom dropped her off at school on Monday morning. "Goodbye, kiddo. Enjoy your first day at school," she said. "Bye, Mom," replied Emily. Emily walked to her new class, where she met her teacher, Mrs. Lars. "You must be Emily," asked Mrs. Lars. Emily looked at her teacher with delight. "Yes, ma'am," she replied. Mrs. Lars introduced Emily to the class and helped her find her seat. On Emily's right sat a young girl with bright orange hair and tons of freckles on her nose. "Hi, Emily. My name is Helen," introduced Helen. Emily smiled and looked at the young boy on her left, who had darker skin than Helen and had big brown eyes. "That's Vusi," added Helen. A young girl sitting behind Emily with long dark hair tapped her on her shoulder. "My name is Anushri," she introduced. Emily smiled as Mrs. Lars grabbed the class's attention to start the first lesson of the day. "Today we are going on a journey through South Africa," explained Mrs. Lars. As Mrs. Lars was explaining the lesson, Emily looked up and found herself sitting at her desk on a farm. She looked around her and saw Helen, Vusi, and Anushri also sitting at their desks. Vusi gets up from his desk and spots a flock of chickens pecking food off the ground. He sneaks towards them slowly and leaps to try catch one. Helen is fascinated at the sight of horses in the paddocks that she races off to try get a better look. Emily and Anushri are still sitting in their seats, still trying to grasp what is going on. A strange voice appeared. "Good day, children. What do I owe the pleasure?" Emily and Anushri looked up and saw a farmer holding a baby goat. "Hi, sir. We are here to see your farm," replied Emily. "Jolly good. Would you like a tour?" added the farmer. Emily and Anushri smiled as they followed the farmer through the farm, learning about all the different farm animals. In the far distance, something catches Emily's eye. "Wow, an elephant!" shouted Emily. Where?" asked Anushri. Vusi and Helen raced off towards Emily as she pointed to the giant beast splashing water on itself with its long, thick trunk. Look, a pride of lions!" exclaimed Vusi. "Look at the zebras over there," added Helen. "We must be in the nature reserve," explained Anushri. A game car drove along the road and stopped in front of the curious children. "Hello there. Would you like a tour of the national park?" asked the driver. "Yes, please," replied Emily. "Hop in then," responded the driver. Emily, Vusi, Helen, and Anushri all jumped into the game car. They were over the moon to see all the different wild animals. "The tour ends here," said the driver. The gang hopped out of the game car one by one. As they turned around to thank the driver, they were suddenly looking at the immaculate view of the mother city. "Where are we?" asked Emily. A voice replied to Emily's inquisitive question. "Why, you are on Table Mountain, dear." The gang turned around and saw a man's face plastered amongst the rocks of the mountain. "Who are you?" inquired Helen. "I am the man who lives amongst the rocks. I've been here for centuries. Would you children like to hear an ancient story about this mountain?" asked the mountain man. "Yes, please," replied Helen. And so the mountain man explained to the children the ancient story of Table Mountain and how he became the man amongst the rocks. Tap, tap. "Emily! Emily!" Emily heard her name, shook her head and looked up. "Emily, are you still with us?" asked Mrs. Lars. Emily looked around her and saw she was back in her classroom. "I must have drifted off," whispered Emily to herself. Emily had realized that she was merely daydreaming on her journey through South Africa, and she couldn't wait to tell Helen, Vusi, and Anushri all about it.